Classic 2022, brought to you by Retro Gaming Live TV, and they have graciously given me the privilege of opening the marathon for the first time. I'll begin with Time Crisis 1, 2, and 3. This is the arcade version running in MAME, and oh, one moment. Uh, let's see, turn this off. I'll just let the introduction speak for itself.
There's been a kidnapping. It's Rachel, the daughter of the president of Cercia. Get into the castle and rescue Rachel.
Sometime, somewhere, someone is plotting a government overthrow. A small republic is in danger. It's time for the one-man army. Richard Miller. She must be dead by now.
Don't come!
Rachel McPherson.
Since you have traveled so very far, be my guest and let me entertain you.
Sharudo Gato. Just to be sure. Wild Dog. Time Crisis.
Your father will pay the price for destroying the Imperial rule.
An intro like that, how are you going to say no to that? So, for those who aren't aware, Time Crisis is played with both a gun and a foot pedal at the bottom of the cabinet, and this is used to step in and out of cover. We'll just...
This nation will soon be mine. Ah, the taste of revenge is sweet. Your father will pay the price for destroying the Imperial rule. What happened?
We've been invaded.
What?
Never mind. My men will gun him down. There! Shoot him!
This game was released in 1995 by Namco, and in the mid-90s was a really interesting time for light gun games in the arcades. There was a lot of innovations being brought to the genre, but for better and for worse. So in 1994, Sega released Virtua Cop, which I believe is the first 3D light gun game, and that allowed for a lot of flexibility in itself with a camera that spins in every direction. And I don't know if people are aware, but there was a big war between Sega and Namco to innovate in the arcades, and this was their answer to that. You just on this. So you can see in the bottom the time limit is constantly going up and down. If time runs out, it's game over. You lose all your lives. And so the only way to succeed in this game is to essentially memorize everything, shoot at enemies before they're supposed to appear, and hope that the game's very unforgiving accuracy works in your favor. You're allowed to hit enemies up to 3 times. In fact, the fastest record for this game just spams shots at enemies and doesn't really care too much about accuracy because it's not all that important to this game as it might be in others. I'm taking 3 shots in every enemy because I don't trust my accuracy with this. So right here. You also have to lift off the pedal to reload. You can't shoot off screen. Those red men are the most dangerous, at least early on, because their first shots will always hit. If you're familiar with later games in this series, but not this one, there is no warning when anything will hit. You can't react to anything. You have to just know that the hazard's gonna be there. And especially hitting it for the targets like that is asking a whole lot. Those yellow men that run by will give you extra time at the end of this segment. Let's see. Hit this guy. They also make you fight against military hardware like this. Keep shooting until it blows up, that's all you can do. Later games would not be so exacting with bullet and enemy hitboxes like this. Here's a little known trick. Here's the windshield of that car before it approaches and it'll crash and save you some time there because it'll prevent another enemy from spawning afterward. There's some tricks to this. Still not used to the reload timing of this game. It feels like it's longer than later games. Shielder men are really annoying, especially at a distance. Boss fights in this game are also really unreasonable, you'll see.
Don't come! It's a trap! Oh no!
You have to just spam shots and only the goal guy got hit. So, truth be told, I'm not expecting to get 1CC on this game because it's just, like I said before, you can't react to anything. You have to memorize everything.
It's all over. The girl's at the top of that tower. She must be dead by now.
Ugh. That makes me laugh every time. Richard Miller is a silent protagonist, but he has so much more personality than other silent protagonists. One of the other ways this game innovated besides the gameplay is the presentation. It's going for very Hollywood. All the games that would. Like all the intros are all movie trailers. There's dialogue. Plots lined with substance. Instead of just go place to place and kill bad guys. Watch out for the bomb here. Okay. Take out. So that seems pretty quiet. Going for a different style of Hollywood movie compared to what would come later. And Mash in the right here. Why am I having a hard time hitting the Katana Clawman this time? Still... Look at the clock. Time's of the essence in this game, and it's pushed harder here than any other game. I'm gonna lose a life here, I just know it. Told you. Oh, I forgot about that red man. You have to memorize all the red men and the clawmen. No chance of getting 1CC this time, but that's okay. Well, hope you memorized that, because... And the order at which these men appear is all random. There's some RNG here, but it's not too terrible, actually. Also, the screen's flashing red and yellow. I'm using a screen flash filter in OBS to filter out the white screen flashes on trigger pulls, but this game flashes the screen other colors on near miss shots, and there's nothing I can do about that. And might have to use the flash here to see, but you'll learn the screen. Anticipate that guy. No way I'm gonna be the top spy now. Look at the clock. Watch out for the red men there. Come on now. Okay. So, you notice that I began with 3 lives with the space and the life meter for more. This is the only Time Crisis game, in the arcade anyway, where you can get extra lives. The only way to get it is to kill 40 enemies in a row without missing any shots, and that's clearly not gonna happen. I delete my shot there because to do otherwise would deny you all of a railing kill, and that wouldn't be very polite of me, would it? Okay. Take out the Clawman. Okay. I'm doing pretty good on time so far, but that's gonna change next. The boss is coming up.
Look out!
My name is Sherudo. I rule this nation now. So, you are the fool who came to rescue Rachel. Since you have traveled so very far, Be my guest and let me entertain you.
This boss is... You can't react to this boss, you have to memorize the patterns.
Action.
The boss is actually selling his injury. Well, he'll always appear there first, and then 6 dudes come out. You have to just come out as fastly as you can, as safely as you can. Then back to 2 shots here. I'm gonna get hit, it's gonna be here, unless I manage to get this perfect. I got hit. I hit those in the wrong order. It's actually good that you mentioned how I'm playing this. I'm using a Sinden light gun, which is a Kickstarter-based modern light gun that works on modern displays. There's a trigger, or there's a webcam in the muzzle that looks at the screen. You can't see it, but there's a white rectangle that the camera uses for tracking position.
How could you? You killed my boss. What do I do now? I can't let things end this way. Since I have the upper hand, having the girl and all, I'll press my luck. You wait here.
There's no way out, he just takes the long way. Thank goodness there's no fall damage in this game. Okay, so... Take shots in the helicopter, save some time for next time we have to look at it. I'm actually, yeah, I'm playing this in MAME. The PS1 version technically works, but it's also harder. Because if you continue, you have to restart the area. I'm also using my own pedal. I bought a pedal for a dictation machine. I tore out the insides and wired the switches to a controller PCB. So I'm playing as close to arcade as I can. There's a lot of time here. I have to play extra safe. That guy. Really got that guy. And I have to stand all the way back to actually... Yeah, making you snipe that guy. I got hit. See what I mean about the accuracy being unreasonable? How are you supposed to do that first try? Then the helicopter comes back. I have to stand all the way back to make clearance for the guns because it needs double your screen width in order to work properly. That's why I'm not using my web camera. I got hit again. I get 3 or 4 credits. Now, how am I ahead of the top spy? I'm much more confident in the later games because I can use the gun con 2, which isn't so stringent. This is where time starts really piling on. You're encouraged to just mash here because there's barely any window to hit these guys. Big obstacles come around. Sorry for the red man. Do this in as few cycles as you can. You might get 3 if you're lucky. I might run out of time. Got hit by the red man again, never mind. I didn't think he'd appear that soon because he's supposed to come out after everyone else dies. I'm taking too long. I did all this practice and this is what I have to show for it. This is one of the more annoying segments in the game. You gotta wait for these boxers or they'll smack you in the face. Just lean a little. Okay, so this is a little precarious too. Easy to miss the dudes on the top if you're not looking around hard enough. I think the next area is where 1CC's go to die. This is... Watch out for the bomb, man. You're asking a whole lot. As has been mentioned, the PS1 version adds a lot of extra stuff. A whole new set of stages with branching paths and original characters. There's also another PS1 spin-off called Time Crisis Project Titan. That was developed by Flying Tiger Entertainment. Watch out. I actually bought that game from Hollywood Video. I don't have it anymore. A little bit long, but I think it's worth playing if you're into light gun games. They should have made more spin-offs. Old guy doesn't know when to quit. Really long cutscene here. Give you a lot of time, but it's just an illusion. Fairly skill intensive, doesn't even cover it. Especially with this game runs at 480i. And I don't know why you had to be so precise with these bullets. And Richard here picks the worst possible cover of this entire church. The only cover that fights back. They never did this again. I got hit. I'm not getting the top spy now. There's no scoring system. There are skill points, 0 to 10. I think the only...
You're finally here to save me. Let's end this once and for all. Just to be sure. Freeze! Both you and this stinking castle can burn for all I care. So long.
Let me go!
Hold it!
The only time Richard Miller shows emotion. In this boss fight, yet you have to just guess. Any one of these shots will hit you, including the first one, and it happens in like half a second or so. I'm just guessing. See if I can... Okay, I didn't take a hit there, that's fair. Make sure Rachel's still okay.
Action!
They do so much of the camera direction, it's so telling here. Down here. You hit that grenade out of the air, it stops him from dislodging that wheel and making this section a little bit easier. Otherwise you have to roll out of the way of it. That's the gold man's last stand. Now here's the last scene in the game. See if I can at least finish this on 3 credits and not 4. Pretty climactic here. Just pay really close attention. You have to look through the fire and the smoke. I didn't see that. I didn't see what attack he was doing. So much for that. Only 3 minutes left. Sometimes he'll get right up in your face. The least practical way to hit back. I had the last left though. This game's hard. Still well within estimate. I thought that would go worse. That's the third emotion Richard shows. Thank you for all your support so far. That's Time Crisis 1. And then... after this, I think the next big light gun release would be... 1996 with The House of the Dead from Sega. And then... well, my next game's in 1998. We'll just let this ending go. And we'll change over as fast as we can. Top record, by the way, is under 10 minutes. And my in-game time is 13. That's a good choice for the Game Clear jingle. Heard that just now. I need to see how many skill points I got. I'm thinking I'm only gonna get 6 or 7. Ascendant Light Gun is available on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. I got it late, but you should be able to buy one now. Software's a little bit tricky to work with, but you should be able to get it to go. Look what the screen flash filter is doing to these credits. If I had the room, I'd take you up on that. 10 hits. Oh, I got 8. Ow. My best is 9. Okay, so that's been Time Crisis 1. There'll be even better, even bigger and better light gun gameplay to come in the coming years, though. So this is the Coin Out Classic 2022. Coming up next, Time Crisis 2. Stay tuned.
It's Rachel, the daughter of the president of Cercia. Get into the castle